Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing another ranking. So if you know me, rankings are difficult. I find them very stressful to do, but I wanted to challenge myself this month and do a ranking video for every brand that I have more than a couple palettes for. And today we are going to be doing Viseart. So I have quite a few Viseart palettes. I really love them. I just got a few more a few weeks ago, and I just really like the quality, really like their color stories. And so this was actually one of the harder ones because a lot of these could be pretty much tied. But it's a fun thought experiment to try this and see where things fall and where my preferences are kind of lying at the moment. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a definite soft spot for indie makeup and high-end makeup. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to the content I make, be it reviewing something brand new or just talking about things that I already know and love. And I have new content every week, generally 2 to 3 videos a week, but right now I have something pretty much every day, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so I just filmed a video with Viseart's 2 newest palettes, the Cashmere Charmeuse and the Violette Vespertine, now that I've had them for a little while. That video will be going up before this, probably by a week or two. But that is what is on my face. If you're interested in this look, it is a combination of those 2 palettes. And then the rest of my makeup will be in the description box. It's a lot of my current favorites. So I do want to preface this with I like all of these. None of these are at risk of being decluttered. My declutter already happened. Some of them have like a shade or 2 I don't really love or don't wear very often, which might put them lower than others. But really this ranking is just based on color story and what I'm gravitating towards at the moment. All of these are good quality. The formula is very consistent, so that is not a problem. It's just, what am I actually wanting to use right now? I also will say that the fact that it's really gloomy and dark all the time here in Seattle right now is definitely going to skew this. Probably a bit. Also a disclaimer, I did buy all of these with my own money. I don't get PR from Viseart or anything, so I bought these all myself. Although it would be nice to get that. Okay, so in last place is going to be this little guy. This is the Shoo Shoo palette. This is one of their Petite palettes. This is the Petite Pro Shoo Shoo. And this is a really cute palette. I did get this on sale because a couple of the shades I'm not going to wear very often, but it was just such a cute selection I couldn't pass it up. So I got this summer. You've got this really bright bubblegum shade that I've used once and this pink purple duochrome that I've only used once to try it out. But I really like the rest of these. I really like these just soft bronzes, and this corally watermelon shade is really beautiful and one of the reasons I wanted this. I think this is actually one of my favorites as far as like the packaging with the little starfish and the colors. Love this. I think it's really adorable. It's just not colors I grab for very often. Also, it's really tiny, and there's something about tiny shadows that just like, I don't know. But I do really like it. These warm neutrals are really pretty, and I really like this corally pop. So, but it's just shades that I'm not gonna wear every day, so that's why it's at the bottom. Okay, so next is gonna be another Petite Pro, and this is the Petite Pro Soleil. Again, really love the packaging, really like the artwork. I just think they do really great artwork. But again, it's just not colors I'm gonna wear all the time. I feel like this purple is fairly similar. I feel like this purple and this purple are very similar to 2 of the ones in the Violette palette, the original Violette, which is a little but also like, if I don't want to travel with that, I could travel with just this. Or, you know, because they're all magnetic, I can mix and match the tiny ones, and those are the bigger ones. I don't know. Don't really mind it that bad because it does really fit in this. You do get kind of a sunsetty vibe if you mix all of these. Really great yellow shade here, really pretty bronze and yellow shimmer here. And I really like, I don't really like red eyeshadow very often, but I do really like these 2. This is more satin, this one's a little more sparkly. So yeah, these 2 Petite Pros are at the bottom, but I do think the Petite Pro is a really nice size and format. There are some other ones I want, like the London, I think those are Petite Pro. The London, San Francisco, those. Eventually would like to get those. Okay, so next is going to be one of their Étendue palettes, which are my favorite size that they make. And this is the Soleil La Plage. Again, love the artwork. Really beautiful. Like a little seagull here. It's just pale and a little bright, which is just not what I'm in the mood for right now. And it is a very pale palette. So you've got a really pale yellow, a nice vibrant yellow, and then you've got some neutrals right here. And then all of the shimmers tend to be pretty pale. You've got a more golden shade here. You've got this really pretty orangey, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Melony shade. And then you've got this blue. It's a pretty sheer blue, but it's not a bad one. It's just very pale. So this is more of a companion. Like I want to mix these with other ones, which I do like that they're magnetic, so you can do that. But that's why this is just near the bottom. I don't think the quality is bad. It's just a very pale color story. Okay, next is going to be one of their quads. This is the Petite Four Lapis. This is, I think, my favorite packaging they do, this very Art Deco-y one. Really, really love this. This has a couple of my favorite shades. This bronze is really pretty, perfect one and done everyday shade. This smoky blue shade is really beautiful. Blue is my favorite color, like color in general, but also eyeshadow color. I don't really grab the silver very often, and this shade I can use as an inner corner highlight, like a matte inner corner, but it's too pale for me to use really in my crease, so that's what knocks this one down, despite having two of my favorite shades, and that's why I bought it too. I bought it on sale, like 30% off, because I knew I wasn't really going to use this, and maybe not this, but I knew I wanted those. So, good palette, just, again, it's more of a companion palette because I need something else. Okay, so next is going to be, well, actually I think this might have been my first Viseart palette, and it is the Viseart palette. Again, really love this packaging, really like it when they go Art Deco, and I really like the color story, really like the colors. It's just very jewel toned, and I just haven't been wearing jewel tones this year. Although I've been wearing this kind of a eyeshadow look a lot, and I'm starting to now crave colorful shades because I've been wearing muted tones so much. But I do really like this. You've got three warm neutral mattes. So you've got a inner corner or a transition shade if you're lighter, a mid-tone, a dark, and then you've got this really beautiful kind of burnty red matte, and then the rest are jewel tone shimmers, a little more satin. Some of them are a little high shine, like this one's high shine. Oh, and this orange is a matte. It's a matte with sparkle, which I don't love, but it is pretty. It's just not colors that I'm grabbing for that much right now, and that's why this got pushed down. But I do really like this, and I do think it's worth it. I just, yeah, I'm just not in the mood for jewel tones this year. Something about my brain switched from like wanting color all the time to wanting like more neutrals, maybe some sparkle. I do love a sparkle, but not really using like jewel tone shimmers that much right now. So next is going to be one of my favorite palettes in general, but because it is an all matte palette, it is getting knocked a little bit lower, and it is the Petite Matte Dark. So this is a companion palette again. I do really love this, and I do kind of want like the neutral palette. I kind of want the Grand Pro, so you have like all of the neutrals, and the like neutrals and the cool neutrals both look really pretty and would be nice companion palettes again. But this is just a companion palette. It is really beautiful though. Everything's mid to dark. It leans pretty dark, hence the name. But you do have a couple like brighter shades and like a slightly, mid-tone kind of neutral taupe. Really great quality, really good shadows. If I'm using a sparkly shade, I will sometimes grab this to do a smoky eye with. So really love this. But because it is an all matte palette and leans very dark, it is again a companion, so it just gets knocked down a little bit for that. The things higher up are all things that I can do multiple looks all within just one palette. Spoiler, if that is one. And then the next palette is going to be an all shimmer palette, and it is the Petite Shimmer Koi. I kind of want Koi-ish I think they're close, but different enough. Plus the coiffure is an étendue, so I could mix and match with things like Soleil La Plage and Viseart. Really love this, really love the packaging. It looks like scales. These little touches that they do just make me really happy. And then it's just a really beautiful, sparkly eyeshadow palette. So some of these are a little more foiled, like this olivey green is really beautiful. Some of them are more iridescent. Some of them are a little more sheer, sparkly. I really like this. Pairs nicely with the other palette, pairs nicely with just like bronzer. Throw one of these on the lid. But because it's an all shimmer palette, it just gets knocked down a little bit less because I can't use just it for, I mean, I can. I like an all shimmer look, but you know what I mean. Okay, so the next palette is, I really love, the next ones were all really hard to place. Like number 1 and 2 I was pretty sure about, but the rest were like, But the next one is a cult favorite, and it is the Viseart Cashmere palette. Really, really love this. Again, artwork's beautiful. It's a nice neutral slash mauve palette. I think one of their best sellers for a reason. I totally get it, and I really love it. I think it's basically tied with the next couple, but you know, couldn't really do that. What knocked this down just a little bit less is that there's only 4 mattes, so you've got a pale shade that I can use as an inner corner highlight, and you've got a charcoal shade to deepen things up. But then after that, it's pretty much all shimmer, so you're picking like, do you want mauve or do you want brown, like warmish kind of camel-y brown? And then pick a shimmer to go with it. And I do like that, but I kind of wish there was just, well, I can mix and match, but I wish there was a little bit more variety, but I do think this is a pretty perfect palette. I really do love this. But it's just, yeah, I just had to place it somewhere. I'm like second guessing myself as I do this. Okay, so next is going to be a palette that came out, I think with that one, and that is the Violette palette. I really love this. I'm torn. I'm actually like second guessing myself as I say this. No, I'm keeping it here. This is the Violette palette. Really beautiful artwork again. And it is a really beautiful purple mauve palette. So here are those purples that I said were very similar to the other ones. You've got some more like desaturated mauve tones up here, and then you've got more purple mattes down here, like lilac to purple. You've got some purple shimmers. The shimmers, this is like a lilac-y rose gold, like a almost rose gold, but more lilac. This one is kind of a pale, silvery, almost blue. And then you've got the purples, and just because it's so matte heavy and you're gonna get a purple look pretty much with this, it did get pushed down below a couple of the others that I feel are a little bit more versatile. Okay, next is going to be the new extension of that palette, the Violette Vespertine. So really enjoyed this one. I have had this one much less time. I've only had it for a few weeks, but I do really like it. I think it's really beautiful. I like that it goes from very light to pretty dark. What I like about this versus just the Violette, it's more desaturated, more muted, which I appreciate, but also it's a nice mix of matte and shimmers, so you can do a few different looks with it. You can go more mauve, you can go a little bit more purple. The mauve tones can be a little more neutral. You've got kind of like a taupey mauve here. And then with the shimmers, you've got kind of a silver pewter, you've got another rose gold, but like less lilac. You've got a purple, you've got this cranberry shade, and then you have a bronze, which I am wearing on part of my lid today. So you can do a lot of different looks with this because you've got such distinct shimmers. And that's what put this higher up. I really love it, even though I've only had it for a few weeks. I already really love it. Okay, so next is going to be my other quad, and this is the Peridot quad, or Peridot, depending on who you ask. Again, Art Deco-y. This is one of my perfect quads, like in my collection. I don't have that many quads, but you've got a perfect transition brown for me. You can build it up so it's like it looks like you maybe have two different browns, but it's like a perfect color for my skin tone. And then you've got greens, which next to blue is my favorite eyeshadow color. You've got a lime, you've got a more emerald green, and then the one that I use the most is this more like smoky, almost olive kind of khaki shade. Really love this. I like that I can get multiple looks because I just pick I pick this matte, pick a different shimmer. I can mix the shimmers if I want. Really love this. It's probably my most used Viseart palette, but some other ones beat it out because they're a little bit more versatile, but because of how much I use this, it had to be near the top. Top two, this was hard, but based on what I'm wanting to wear right now, I think depending on the time of year, these could switch, which is one and which is number two. But right now, number two is going to go to the Le Murray palette. So this is named after a neighborhood in Paris. Again, love the artwork. This one's a little more subtle, but really pretty. And this is like a perfect fall-y, warm, neutral palette. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mattes. You've got a purple. It's different from those purples. You've got more of an apricot shade. This is like, these look pretty similar, but this is a little bit more yellow and this one is a little more neutral. Dark brown, gold, copper. You've got just really beautiful shades here. You've got a really pretty duochrome right here. I love this. I think this is like the perfect warm neutral fall palette. And the fact that it has like the red and the purple and the gold in there, you can do quite a lot with this. So this had to be near the top. And then last, but certainly not least because it's first, is gonna go with the new Cashmere Charmeuse. So like I said, I've only had these for a few weeks, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, I need it. I need it. And since I got it, it's one of the things that I keep grabbing to for work looks, and I just really love it. It's a desaturated, muted, rosy taupe. I don't really have anything like this. I have some other cool tones, but I don't have anything quite like this, and I really love it. I've been using it quite a bit. It's what I have most on my eyes today, and it's been like the perfect work palette, like end of fall going into winter work palette. It's perfect. You've got this pale like mauve tone, but then you've got kind of a rosy, then you've got kind of a rosy taupe, again more rosy shade, more like cool taupe, and then a charcoal, and then you've got two duochromes. I'm wearing this one on my eyes. It's not the strongest duochrome, but it is really pretty. This one is a little stronger. You've got a pale gold, which I always love, a pale gold. And then you've got a really beautiful pewter for like a cool smoky eye. You've got this rose gold shade here that leans a little more rosy pink. And then this one leans a little more like neutral mauve. So you can do quite a few looks with this. And I really love it. So we'll see how this will end up next year. But right now, this is the kind of colors that I want to wear every day, so it had to be at the top. Okay, so that is my ranking. Let me know what you think of what I ranked. How would you rank them? Do you have any of these? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear your opinions and talk to you in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, it really helps, and I'll see you in the next video.